Ivano, it's a pleasure to have you here on the Changemaker Sessions podcast. How are you doing today?
Thank you for inviting me. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good as well, thanks. And yeah, I'm looking really forward to this conversation with you because you're kind of special in a way of, regarding your age and what you're doing. And so I would love to dive in and maybe you can tell me a little bit about you, like who you are, what are you up to?
First of all, thank you for the nice words. Of course, I can say something about myself. I see myself as a young scientist, also an inventor, but also a sustainability advocate as I work towards the positive impact of sustainable development goals. And about them, I did many projects such as predicting systems in the green hydrogen production, also like solar power vehicle model, etc., etc. And like you can see my name on organizations like We Are Change, Rise for the World, Civics Unplugged, but also Moonshot Pirates, where I'm mostly active. And you can see me there known for my scientific contributions and my dedication to environmental sustainability, but also the whole organizational movement.
Yeah, and this sounds like, you're a 90-year-old guy doing all this awesome work in your lifetime, but that's not the truth. Like, how old are you, Ivano?
I'm actually 16,
Yeah,
so
and this is so mind-blowing. I mean, I can remember when I was 16, I was playing guitar in a death metal band, and it was cool. But I mean, what you're doing with 16, that's unbelievable. So, I'm curious, what drives you? What brings you to this place that you're doing all these awesome things? And it sounds like also, thinking on a global level and for like the community, not only for yourself. What what got you there?
so from a young age, I had a specific way of thinking. Like, I saw things like, for example, if someone was about to throw trash in the nature, they would say, like, oh, this won't make a big impact because it's just me who's throwing it right now. Like, they think that what they will do will not make a big impact. But we need to consider that many people think that way. And that's what makes the huge impact over here. And I think that many people don't realize that. And I kind of realized that at a very young age and just started my movement. Like I started from school clubs, like with the school motto, like, think global, act local.
Mm,
And I kind of started local, but when I realized that my community won't listen to a 16-year-old, by then, like I was 14-year-old when I started everything. They were like, who is going to listen to this child? Like, what does he
mm.
know? And that's when I started reaching out to international organizations. And I kind of got moved, to start working on a little bit more international scale. So, yeah, that's kind of this background with behind this whole journey, but it's just about the way you think. You need to think about what's behind those curtains that we see every day. So, yes.
Yeah, that's so insightful. So just for the listeners here that might think you're based in New York or in any major city where it's easier to do these things, maybe. So tell us, where are you based right now? Or where are you located?
So I'm based in northeastern Bosnia and Herzegovina, which is a little town called Usora. But this is one of the smallest towns in Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Okay.
But it's very interesting that this town is one of the most historic ones, and it's very popular actually
Mm.
between citizens of Bosnia and Herzegovina, and they depend a lot on this city because of its river. But also one of the stories why I began my journey is because this river got polluted a few years ago, and it's still not cleared out. Like it's still polluted, and I just can't see many people get sick because of it.
Mm,
So yeah.
wow. Yeah, and what I've heard is like, there are a couple of things that came to my mind. First of all, like the way you were thinking and that you kind of got it that also an individual contribution can make a difference. And I think that's a trap that a lot of people fall into that I'm hearing is who am I to make an impact? It's just me, right? And being it
Mhm.
pollution, being it whatever people are doing, but it's like, yeah, but it's just me, I can't make any difference. And it seems you have adopted to this mindset of I am just one guy in a little village that probably not so many people care about, but I can make a global impact.
Oh, so I won't say I have that mindset, but my mindset is basically if I'm not gonna solve it, who is?
Yeah, so
Because
even bigger.
yeah, it's kind of even bigger. Like just to be clear, like I'm not an egoist or narcissist, but the thing is, like the story behind it is that everyone, like every single individual, might think that someone else will solve this problem. Like, for example, someone from my school who is not very interested in climate change and like they don't know many stuff about it, they will say like, oh, I'm not gonna solve it because someone else will. Like, there is
Mm,
nothing to be afraid of. Like, it's gonna be okay. But like, let's just be real. Like, everyone thinks that way. Like, I'm sorry, but we don't really have a public figure which is so, so, so strong about its passions. But the most people, like people who work the most, is my generation, like Gen Z.
mm,
And I see so many brilliant people, and like I think we're each other's inspirations. And like we'll be the one who will actually solve these challenges. It's not just about climate change, but about every pressing challenge on the world right now. And that's why kind of most changemakers today focus on sustainability development goals, which is a
mhm.
very interesting thing.
Yeah, and this is like, this is what I really admire in you, Ivano, and all the other young guys who are these change makers who actually take responsibility and say, we are the ones who can change it and we will do it. Versus the majority of people who say, someone will do it, we're safe, but just pass on the responsibility to someone else that can save it. And what I'm hearing is like you are the one who's saying, yeah, but who should change it? And I will try it, or at least I'm here and making an impact, which is huge.
Yes, that's just the thing about it. It's something like the thing behind is ignorance. Ignorance is, I think, most like pressing challenge beyond these pressing challenges, if you get me.
Yeah.
Because most community today like struggle with this ignorance. Like they depend on it. Like if they're gonna solve the challenges, like this ignorance is a paradoxical issue. Like it just depends.
Hmm. Yeah. And you also mentioned you're part of Moonshot Pirates. And for those guys who are listening and don't know much about or never heard of Moonshot Pirates, maybe you can elaborate a little bit on the project you're focused on there.
Oh, okay. So here it is. My story with Moonshot Pirates is kind of random, but um, it was last year that I was looking for some opportunities, to immerse myself in, and I saw this like public call for Shape the Future challenge, which Moonshot Pirates got, and I applied. Like like of every random person, like, okay, this is gonna be fun, like I might get the award, but like I might not.
Mm,
And I ended up getting the community, like I became a part of the community with brightest minds, like most supportive community. And I don't know, I just enjoy the beauty of Moonshot Pirates through the community, like the support and everything. It's not just about the projects like Moonshot Pirates
mm,
do. It's not just about the projects, but it's about the support. I think youth today who are change makers lack like this support which Moonshot Pirates actually provides. And I don't think many people recognize that. And Moonshot Pirates for me is just a community, but like it's more than a community. I don't know
mm,
how to explain it, but like I have this very specific feeling for Moonshot Pirates than from for any other organization, you know? Because I met there like one of my best friends, let's say today,
mm.
and we worked on this project together, like a solar powered vehicle model, you know, to make solar power a way of environmentally friendly transportation through quantum dot cells. It's kind of sounds
It's
tacky, like
mind-boggling.
yeah, it's like bubbling, so I'm not gonna go deep in it, but it's just a think about nanotechnology and solar power. But the thing that changed me in Moonshot Pirates isn't this project, but the people.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautifully said. And yeah, um, also kudos uh, to Aneta Londa and Marco Londa, who are the founders of them. They're good friends of
Hmm.
mine, and I connected to them because like last year I was working with them as a coach, and so I got connected with you in a way. And it's just great to see that, there are people out there who are making a change and also for others. And I love this idea of building a community and bringing people together. And as you said, you never know who you're meeting there. Maybe it's becoming your best friend, maybe it's an accountability buddy, maybe it's a mentor, whatever. But I can totally relate to this with other communities I'm a part of, because sometimes you just feel lonely on your journey, and it makes really a difference if you have like-minded people that can inspire you and motivate you, and you can work on the same page, so to speak.
Yes, definitely. Like Moonshot Pirates is just specific. Like it's a global movement that focuses not just on professional growth, but like it's a personal growth as well. Like if you want to focus on self-development, I think like Moonshot Pirates is a right place for everyone, you know, to just grow as a person.
Yeah, and it's specifically for younger people, right?
Yeah, it is.
And that's the most important point, because I'm turning 44 soon. I have two little kids. Mia is 7, Noah is 5, and I want them to grow up in a kind of quote unquote normal world. And you guys are the ones who can shape it, because a lot of my generation or the older generation, for them it's already, you know the time has gone already. But you are the new generation, and it's beautiful to see that people like you are on the edge of science and of change, and building global communities to tackle world's problems.
Yes, but the th interesting thing is that we support everyone supports each other. Like we all are out on LinkedIn and like you know we don't know each other, but like we see what we do and like
Yeah.
we just support each other. Like we're all colleagues, and it's a very fascinating thing that I realized that we youth like change makers don't focus on one thing. Like we focus on so many things, and I think there is a psychology behind that. Like just because of this example that I gave you recently, like if I don't do this, like who is? And I think
Mm.
it's just everyone's mindset. And like now we feel the responsibility to work on the most pressing challenges that we like feel in our communities.
Right. And why do you think is your generation, or specifically you, feeling this responsibility? Because the other way would be to say, I don't care, someone else will do it, right? As we discussed. So what brings this responsibility to you to make a change?
That's a very interesting question, but I think we're the first generation to actually feel the impacts on this scale.
Mm.
Because we're open to information. Basically, I'm in northeastern Bosnia, but I can know what's happening in eastern Indonesia, and I can work on helping them, because we're all connected through social media. And that's one of the things that impacted this generation the most is social media. It may contributed, on these negative ways, but one of the best ways it contributed is this slacktivism. We can do activism virtually, and it really can make an impact. For example, it's not just about sharing the post on story. Many people think, for example, this situation in world right now. If I share a post on Instagram, to help these people, etc., etc., they will say, oh my God, you're not gonna make any impact with just doing that. But
Mm.
there are people who don't know what's happening. And if we just raise awareness and we all together become a community on a global scale, we can actually achieve so many things together. If we just have this power, in one place, and you can really do anything you put your mind to. And that's the mindset I have
Yeah.
when I connect with people. Like I might not be best friends with them or anything, we may not tell each other about each other's days, but we will help each other to achieve things and change the world.
Yeah, and that's really, I mean, that's mind blowing because I know so many people who are just doing their own stuff, right? And they want to be the heroes, and no one is working together. I have a science background. I'm a molecular biologist by training, and there was all like every lab is doing their own thing, and everyone tries to publish first, right? So maybe 5 groups or 10 groups in the world are working on the same topic, but only the first one who is the fastest or maybe knows the editor in Nature and Science and all these publications, they will like get the publication and the points and the money, whatnot. And all the others are like the losers. And what I'm hearing here, it seems there is a shift of, as you said, it's like maybe it's not talking about uh, daily things with people online, but it's more like how can we work together and help each other out to make a greater impact. And this is actually the reason why I left the academia and science, because I said to me, I don't see see it happen for me that this is a good way to move forward by just competing with all the others instead of talking to each other and building these communities, building these bonds, and working together for a greater good.
Yes, our generation is not competing. It may
Yeah.
seem like we're ruining each other's self-esteems, but it's not like that, definitely. Um, you know, we're just there to get ideas from each other.
Yeah.
It's not a competition. I can get idea from someone, and I'll do it on my way. They will do it on their way, and it's just still two different things focused on one
Mm.
thing, and it's still valid. And whatever you see, I applied to Rise and I saw many people apply with the same focus, on projects,
Mm.
they focused on same thing, on true same way, but they did it differently. They did it on their way. And it's about the selectors to decide which way is most effective. But my mindset is what do selectors know? Because they're not from their communities. Like this thing may work best for this community, but this may work best for that community.
Yeah.
And it's just the way it works.
So there is still hope in the future for us with you guys making a change.
Oh, well, seriously, like we're gonna make the impact and everything, but if we're gonna be realistic, like it's about what happens in these 10 years. And like if we don't really manage to work on things, then who knows who's gonna be there to help us. So yeah.
Yeah.
w- Only thing that can keep us, stand still right now and passionate is actually hope that we can
Mm.
do things.
Yeah. And I want to acknowledge you, Ivano, for being out there again and doing the work, because I can imagine that's not always easy and there are a lot of challenges involved. Talking about challenges, maybe briefly touch on the story how we got to know each other. So I saw uh, a LinkedIn post about you that you posted. Maybe you can elaborate a little bit on this. You know, a month or 2 months ago. Uh, what was it
Mhm.
about, and what was the struggle there or the challenge?
Okay, so last year, like by the end of the summer, I applied to Yale University Young Global Scholars Program, which is one of the most prestigious programs for youth out there. And I applied not knowing that I will actually get accepted. And I got accepted to the session about solving global challenges, which is a perfect fit for me. And I was like, oh my God, I gotta go. And it was interesting that I got full scholarship, but I still wasn't able to pay for my travels and
Mm.
everything coming from a low income family, but like not just low income family, but the whole community and country. And I reached out on LinkedIn for support. Like I opened a GoFundMe page, and yeah, it was the Matt who reached out and he connected me to the people from Heal the Planet organizations. And there I was selected as a young planet leader, which is the people who are awarded each month in their organizations. And I was awarded with my plane ticket, and I'm so grateful for that. Like it would be impossible without Matt. So Matt, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And it's not about me. It's as you said before. I think it's bringing people together and working together. And when I saw the post, I was like, okay, let's see. That's cool that he's doing the GoFundMe campaign and see what's coming up. And I donated a little bit, and so did others as well. And then I thought, okay, whom do I know? And I did a workshop in spiritual psychology. It's from the University of Santa Monica back then, I think a year ago or so, and it was online. And I connected with a guy called Ken Fisher, and he was a change maker as well. He's one of the founders of Heal the Planet. And I thought, maybe just connect him with you, and maybe this is something. And then he came up and wrote back an email immediately and said, "Hey, maybe Ivano is can be a leader from us, and then we can give him." Kind of the donation for the ticket and from our fundings. And so that's so beautiful. And just I think that's a great example on how it can work to move together in the right direction and bring people together, instead of it's just ego based and I need to be the winner and I need to do it. Yeah, so thanks for sharing, and I'm so happy that this worked out. And so you're another leader in another project, which is awesome.
No, thank you. It's just a brilliant thing, and I still cannot believe that it's happening to me. Like, it's still unrealistic. As a thing I thought is impossible when I was younger. Like,
Yeah,
I just saw these things on TV, and now I'm part of this movie I saw
yeah,
as a little kid.
yeah. And I assume it will be a lot of fun in Yale as well. So what's the idea there? Maybe just briefly. So it's a summer school, right?
it's a way of summer school, but like it's actually a way of finding solutions together to the pressing challenges.
Mm,
And I think it's a brilliant idea, brilliant thing to go to the Ivy League campus and just put these, brilliant change makers together to find these solutions together. And this is just another example how our generation is not competing, but we're working together. And yeah, I think Yale is actually a great example of that. And there we will get these insights from educators like who are educators in Ivy League, and we will get these insights, idea, knowledge, skills,
mm,
everything to just put that in our project delivery journey in our own communities.
right. And definitely the network as well, and to connect with
Hmm.
those people. And
Yeah, that's one of the most important things out there.
yeah, that's rad. Wow. Thanks, Ivano. So maybe as a last question, what's your message to young people out there right now? If there is anything that you can tell them or inspire them, is there something you want to say about what you're doing or what
Okay.
they can do actually?
Yeah, I'm gonna say something like that very impacted me through my journey is the thing with lack of support. You don't really need a third hand to change the world, like seriously. You only need like yourself. And that's what I realized because you don't even need hands. Like, it's just about you, how you're gonna approach these challenges. And if anything can impact your journey is about you. So first, before you go into this change making journey and change making world, just first work on your self development and think like, are you ready for this? And it's the way which is gonna prepare you. I wasn't prepared, and now it made huge problems for me because with mental health and everything. But now I'm working on it. Like I took rest. I'm like, take rest when you need it. Like without rest, you're not gonna make it. So yeah, it's just about working on yourself and taking time for yourself.
Yeah. And what I'm hearing is like being self-responsible for your life, right? And not hoping that anyone else is solving. And we're not here to judge what's good or right. It's just if you want to go the way that Ivano is going or becoming a young change maker, um, I think being responsible and being aware of your impact in the world is might be the first place to start
Mhm.
with and be aware of.
Yes, like beyond, prioritizing your communities and people around you, you just need to prioritize yourself.
Mm.
Because if you don't prioritize yourself, like you cannot help those around you.
It's
And then if you don't do it, like it's just gonna go one wrong way. And yeah, that's just where it ends. So,
Yeah, beautifully said. And this is also what I'm seeing a lot when working with with change makers. They are so driven to change the world and make the world a better place, which is on the one hand awesome and great, but on the other hand, if you're not taking care of yourself, as you said, you will burn out on the way, and you can't help anyone. And just to maybe reframe this little metaphor that you might have heard a lot already, it's like in the airplane when the oxygen pressure drops and you get the oxygen mask, they also say put it on first because then you can save someone else. Uh, because if you're not putting the oxygen mask first, and you might get unconscious or whatever. And just as a metaphor, if you're burning out on the way, you can't help anyone. And if you're feeling you're a change maker or you want to make a change in the world, I guess having healthy routines, healthy habits, being aware on how much energy you can burn is crucial. And it's great to hear that you're already on this path to say, okay, sometimes I need rest uh, because otherwise I'm not going to function as I should.
That's beautifully said. Like, I totally agree with everything you said. It even touched me.
Thank you. So for people who might want to reach out to you or, get into your community or have some questions, what's the easiest way to reach you?
Well, basically on LinkedIn. I'm there on LinkedIn with my same username as everywhere. It's Ivano Perich. So you
Cool.
go and contact me, like, don't hesitate to reach out.
Yeah, and I will also link your LinkedIn profile in the show notes page so that people can find you.
Yeah, great. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you so much, Ivana. All the best in the future. And yeah, I'm curious what your journey will reveal to us and you.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Like I appreciate coming here and just saying things. So thank you for this opportunity and like I hope we touch someone to become a change maker and realize that they can change the world as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, awesome. We will. Cool. All the best, Ivano. Thank you so much.